up a little bit, but you're maybe pointing to the stands like where family would be, and then you acted like you're holding a camera facing towards him. What was maybe inspiring at kind of those moments, or is it just, you know, trying to ease him into the game and keep things calm?
Yeah, I remember my first game, and I don't play quarterback. I know they have a lot on their minds, a lot on their plate, but he's a naturally confident guy, and I know that. But just going up to him, let him know I have his back. You know, I'll be there for him, and just go out there and make plays. You know, you're a ball player. There's a reason why you're here. But then, you know, afterwards, our families were up there and just having a little bit of fun with it. I'm a naturally loose guy pregame, and so is he. You know, that loose confidence to us, but just making sure that he knows, like, hey, everything's going to be all right. We're going to go out there and make plays, and I'll be there for you.
After the game, he described the outside noise as rat poison. How important is him keeping that mentality all throughout the season, and as well as the offense as a whole as well?
Yeah, you know, everybody's going to try to find a negative about something, no matter who it is, and just staying off social media, staying in this building, and, you know, knowing what we have to get better at. But yeah, really just staying off social media.
Well, you guys have new people, you know, new quarterback, 4 new offensive linemen. How good did it feel to put 45 points on the board and almost, you know, 500 yards of total offense in game one with that many new pieces?
Yeah, it felt really good. You know, we had David Sanders go down, you know, Thursday or Friday, and not really knowing if he was going to go or not. And, you know, we had a couple guys step up, and they played really well. But man, we had a lot of fun out there, and I really love that. I love this group, but we were all together, you know, but at the same time, we had that poise to us. You know, the tape talks for itself. We played really physical. You know, O-line was awesome, giving up 0 sacks, but I just feel like we were all on the same page, and we went out there and played really physical, and that opens up the pass game, and I was just really excited about that.
As an older guy, what's it like, because you went through this in your career, I'm sure, what's it like seeing a young guy like Braylon or Mike, who was in the program but now moves into a much bigger role? How much fun is it seeing them kind of step in and own that?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, I get to see 8 months of off season. I get to see 8 months of those guys putting in work. And, you know, not a whole lot of other people get to see that. And, you know, just to be able to see those guys go out there and execute and have success means a lot to me.
The O-line adjusted really well to David not playing, and now there's some injuries on defense. Why do you think this team is equipped to handle those things and to cope with injuries and keep playing?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, 8 months of off season, coming together as a team, those bonding moments that I've talked about, you know, off the field, just knowing that we're going to be all right. You know, all we got is all we need. If you're strong, I'm strong. And just, man, next play, next man up, plug and play.
With Joey, it didn't seem like he was a guy that was making his first start for a new team that he got here 3 months ago. How impressed were you? I know you said you see these things in practice and things, but how impressed were you that he went out there and kind of operated and executed the offense as a whole, just as well as he did?
Yeah, you know, I was impressed, obviously, but I've seen him do it in practice. I've seen him make those plays in practice. I've seen his poise in practice, you know, even when we're going up against the best defense in the nation in practice. So I don't know if impress is the right word, but just be able to go out there and do his job. It's like, this is the Joey I've seen in practice, and I was just really glad that he went out there and just played how I know he can play.
Miles, that bond that you were talking about, that apply, and how you guys were able to answer Syracuse back whenever they'd get in the end zone, you guys had an immediate response.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, when you come off on the sideline and, you know, Syracuse goes out and scores, Syracuse goes out and does whatever, to be able to just grab your brothers and say, hey man, like, let's go out there and do it again. And everybody respond the exact same way. You know, I've talked about it before to you guys, man, those off the field relationships that you have, being able to call your brother out and be able to call them up to the standard, to be able to say, hey, everybody bring it up, man, like, they just got one on us, let's go punch them in the mouth. And everybody be able to respond the same way. I attribute that to those off the field relationships.
How did you feel about your game? I know you got in the end zone. What did you think about your performance?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to clean up. You know, obviously with a pec injury, not being able to go in spring and not really being able to go in fall camp a whole lot, just feeling space in the run game. You know, I wasn't really satisfied with how I played inside the box. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff to clean up, but I'm really excited, you know, for this week, and just knowing what I have to clean up and being able to look in the mirror and say, all right, this is what I got to do to make us a better team.
When you first had the surgery, did you ever worry you wouldn't be back in time for the start of the season, or, you know, how accelerated was your timeline to get back this early?
Yeah, no doubt. My pec minor definitely helped my timeline, but you know, whenever I first had surgery, we were aiming for Georgia week 3. in week 3, week 4. So be able to come back and play this first game, you know, against a very good Syracuse team to prepare us for the rest of the season was really good for me.
You and Ethan got a majority of the snaps. What'd you see from Ethan or when you guys broke down the tape?
Yeah, man, Ethan played really physical. You know, I was really excited for him, you know, in the offseason, saying, hey, man, like, if we can get a little bit better in the box, man, we're playing 12 personnel 60% of the snaps, and, man, he was really physical, and I was just really excited that he took that step in the offseason, and he handled it really well.
When you get ready for ETSU, the team talks about improving each week. What's maybe top of mind, top goal to get ready for ETSU that you want to continue to improve on?
Personally, man, I got to get back into playing shape. You know, like I said, being out for a while, but man, just feeling space in the box. You know, I'd say that's one of the hardest things, being out for a while. But yeah, personally, just reading space in the box and just trying to be the best blocking tight end in the nation.
Is that a pretty ideal day for a tight end, just to block for almost 250 yards rushing and then catch a touchdown at the end of it? Is that pretty ideal?
No, I don't think you can ask for much more.
It'll be your first home game in Neyland Stadium. How thankful are you for this extra year, and how excited are you for Saturday?
Yeah, you know, just stepping off that bus in Atlanta and seeing how many fans traveled. I just want to let you guys know, like, we never take that for granted. You know, it's been 8 months, 9 months. I've had the itch to see the ball walk, and it was just awesome. You know, get a glimpse of it in Atlanta, and just knowing how awesome it's going to be. You know, here coming up Saturday, so I'm really excited.
What did you think about the
One or two
running backs? Played almost the same number of snaps, all three, and Starr, I think, ended up being the leading rusher. Just, you know, what would you see from those guys, and how did you think they ran behind the blocking they had?
Yeah, no, they ran really physical. Super excited for those guys. You know, obviously Starr had that scramble play. That was an unbelievable field play by him. But I'm really excited to see what those guys can do this year.
All right, thanks, Miles.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miles.